And tonight, you guys are super lucky. We're super lucky to have Dan Hochman in the house. It's Hochman, right? Did I pronounce it right?
You got it right.
We met like 10 minutes ago. And Dan is this wonderful singer-songwriter, and you're originally from upstate New York or city?
Well, so I lived in upstate New York, but I'm originally from Suffolk County, New York, Huntington, to be exact.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you came out to Boulder, Colorado, or you're in Boulder now, is that right?
Yeah, living in Boulder for about 4.5 years.
Uh-huh. How do you like it?
Love it.
Sunshine?
It's the best. Way better than mid-March in New York. So.
I hear you. So real quickly, what got you into music, and what got you into R&B music?
Yeah, I mean...
and you can talk into the mic.
Yeah, so I mean, for me personally, music has always been like a really big part of my life. I first picked up a guitar at probably like age 8, didn't really stick. Picked it up again at like 10, didn't really stick. And then when I was like 14, I was just like probably wanting to get a girl's interest or something.
That's why.
Like,
That's the only reason we do it, right?
Yeah. But actually, I mean, it was such a cathartic experience for me to be able to channel the intensity of my life at that place in time into something creative. Mm-hmm. And so started playing music then, and then I went to school, briefly studied music.
Were you in a musical family at all? Did you have parents that...
My dad was a singer, just like in choirs and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But overall, my uncle was definitely a big inspiration for me musically. He's an upright bassist in a jazz band called the House Cats, based out of St. Augustine in Florida.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so it was cool to have that connection growing up, and he always just had great taste in music, and just kind of piqued my interest. Yeah.
That's great. And so why? I'm sorry, did I already ask you this? How or why did you come out to Boulder? Like, what was the little thing that pushed you coming out this way?
Yeah, well, so basically I was in New York and kind of tired of living there. I'd lived there for a number of years, and then a good friend of mine decided that he was going to move to Boulder. And musically at the time, I was like, I was playing in one small project in New York, but wasn't really feeling like anything was really happening with it.
Sure.
And so I didn't know pretty much anything about Boulder, but I was just like, I'm going to just go out there and try it out. So I moved out here with him, and we lived together for a few years. And I started playing in a trio band with two buddies of mine, one guy named Taylor Took, and another guy by the name of Trace Jory, and we were the Lone Bones trio. We played.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was you.
Yep. And so we played around Boulder a little bit, and then when that project split, I was like, I kind of want to be able to make music no matter who's in the project or not. So I was like, I want to be the one controlling the songwriting and doing the booking and doing all that kind of thing, just so that I can play for as much as I want to. So. Oh,
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're super lucky, you guys, because his voice is like, it's outrageous.
Amazing.
And I was talking with Dechen. If you can show Dechen over there, our producer. Dechen's going to produce us tonight. But I was bringing up this idea about like, well, I'd really like you to come in and produce something, and I want to do it live on Volume. Because Dechen's been on Volume before, Dechen Hawk. Great band. We had a great time. Dechen's been on twice. I got his whole story. If you want to know more about Dechen, you can check out my old replays on Volume. But I was asking him like, yeah, and he's like, well, I got this R&B guy, and I'm going to be doing some stuff, and I heard your voice, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Where do I sign? So speaking of Dechen, can you talk a little bit about how you guys met, and then maybe we can have Dan play the song for a second. You can kind of tell us what your vision is, and then we'll introduce the rest of the guys, and we'll take a stab at it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. This has been so cool. I mean, Brian, I love your space. The Wreckingroom stage is awesome. It's been great to come over here. I mean, I've come over here for other reasons to record and be a part of the community here in Lyons, Colorado, which is amazing. And then, yeah, I think it's totally awesome that Volume is doing this so that we can have a platform to reach a bunch of people, and that it's a platform that's music centric for musicians, and then for the fans to really get a chance to connect directly. I think that's super cool. And so Dan actually just emailed me about setting up a show here in Lyons. And, I listened to his stuff and said, it sounds like we're kindred spirits or cut from the same cloth. And like, I'm not sure about that booking scenario yet, but maybe we should just grab coffee and hang out.
Totally. Yeah.
And it seems like that's what, from there on, we've just been hanging out and meeting pretty regularly, grabbing coffee, talking about what it's like to be an independent artist and the load that you take on trying to do it all yourself, and how much more fun it is when you have, other people that you can do it with. And so as frontmen of bands or songwriters, it's nice to be able to get together and support each other in your respective projects, but also have like someone there, to run things by, and you can go do shows together, whatever. So we've just been, talking about ways that we could collaborate, and then this popped up. Brian, you reached out and were like,
Yeah.
what could we do? And I was like, this is the perfect first thing that we could do together in this capacity. Totally. We haven't even played a show together yet.
Yeah.
But it just
like
seemed like a no-brainer. Yeah, we did like a little rehearsal and did a live stream at your house, and so we've gotten a chance to play a little bit together on our tunes. And so I thought, what a perfect opportunity. I love your voice. Yeah, it's totally, I'm a vocal guy for sure. You got like a nice velvety sound. And yeah, I love the R&B, the vibe, or, soulful songwriter thing. So when I came to Dan and asked him if he'd be down to do this, he was excited, and I asked him what tune he'd want to do, and it's Distance, is that right?
Distance,
Yeah. Played it for me. I think it's totally catchy, and I mean, I've had it stuck in my head every time I listen to it and do work around it. So I thought it'd be cool to just hear you play it on your guitar, give us and everybody just a chance to hear the song stripped down in its rawest form, the way it was intended, and then we can talk about
And then
ideas.
we'll screw it up later.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Big time.
Yeah, I'd love
Because
to.
really, there is nothing better than what you're about to do, and we'll do it justice and try to have fun, see if we can create something special.
Love it. Yeah, thanks, Dutch. And again, thank you, Brian, and thank you, Volume. It's really cool to be here and just to be working on something new with a live audience, and you guys will just get to see us have some fun with it. So without further ado, this one is called Distance. Well, I don't wanna know where you're going, or where you're going late. And I don't wanna think about the knowing you'll be somebody's date. And in the morning when we lay the omen for something to be great, I'll be thinking about it, baby, often, but you're too far away. Too far away. And in the autumn, where we're falling, I'm waiting for the change. And it's often that I'm wondering if you're better on your way. How can we leave it when it's all an option? It's nothing to betray. Our hearts are only breaking open, as some of them would say. You hold the shine of 1,000 oceans, light on the waves. You'll never leave me now, my darling, 'cause I'm forever changed.
forever change. Yeah. And in the autumn, where we've fallen, I'm waiting for the change. And it's often that I'm wondering if you're better on your way. And it's costly, but it softly slips between my hands. And I'm grateful for the way you've made me a fuller man.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's all I got to say.
Oh man, it's a big compliment. Thank you.
So, give us some of your vocal influences and your, you got to give us some of that because it's off the
Love to.
charts.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, a few that really were big for me growing up. I was a big Citizen Cope guy, big Ray LaMontagne guy.
Totally.
And I'd say definitely like Otis Redding was in my ears at a pretty young age. And then more recently, a lot of like neo soul guys. So Mac Ayers, Tom Misch,
Yes.
Daniel Caesar, definitely all had a big influence on me.
Wow. We have a Citizen Cope keyboard player here in the Front Range, Steve Vadeich.
You're kidding me?
Yeah, no,
Oh wow.
he's a great producer and so forth, and he's in Louisville actually. And
Oh, wow.
I think his house made it. So,
Right.
Oof. But so I want to turn the floor over to Dechen because Dechen was tasked with, okay, now I'm going to put together this band, and some of us have played together, some of us we haven't never played together in this incarnation, and but we kind of picked some friends and just be like, okay, let's give this thing a stab. And so Dechen is, he's not trying to recreate that. You guys did a wonderful job with you and Phil on piano. You've got that on your Instagram, and it's just a beautiful version, and we can't compete with that. So how do we do something that's a little different instrumentation? And so I'm going to let Dechen take it away. And what went through your head when you were thinking about this arrangement and so forth?
Well, yeah, I love what you just said. Yeah, Phil here, who's going to be replacing me over here when we play on the keys. And with Dan, your version on Instagram, it's the acoustic guitar, and then you're playing like a nice grand piano. Sounds so good. And that is that, like, taking what you're already doing a little bit further because it's so, the juicy side of the song. And when I was just listening again, I realized how much I'm just feeling that beat, like there's such clearly also this groove in there that of course you allude to when you're playing, but because we have a drummer and a bassist, we get the opportunity to, exploit that basically and dig into that groove some more. So yeah, I still wanted to pay homage to that version that you guys did and capture some of those elements. Like I was saying, I really loved your intro and your playing and having that featured. So my ideas are having that featured in the beginning, kind of ease into the song in the same way that you guys had done before. I got my buddy Jesse in here, super tasty electric guitar vibes.
What?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll talk more to you
So
because
tasty.
you're hilarious and you're always good on the camera and on the mic.
And he's got a fabulous cardigan sweater somewhere.
Yeah, he's
Best
sitting on
sweater.
it. Shame on
Can
him.
you show us that, please? 'Cause
That is tasty.
and last time you came in with that red sweater and just knocked us all out. So
Did I?
Yeah.
Sweater
Fashion
game
is important
strong.
to you, and it shows.
I wear the same uniform every week, so I'm boring. But I want you guys to stand out a little bit.
Well, because you made me feel kind of silly that day.
What?
Yeah, like I wasn't dressed appropriate enough. So.
Well, you nailed it today. Well done. Jesse, I've been playing with Jesse for years. I saw him play in his Von Disco band. I've always liked his playing. I have him play with me in my project as often as I can, probably more than anyone else, actually. And so because I'm so familiar with your playing, I know it matches the kind of stuff I do. And since Dan and I have so many similarities, I wanted to bring that vibe in where you've got the neo soul licks and that nice telly kind of sound. And oh, sorry, we'll hear some of that later. But yeah, having you guys all come in and vibe a little bit once we have that intro. Let the band come in nice and soft groove, kind of mellow. You were mentioning maybe you could do some brushes stuff. I think that'd be a nice dynamic. I like the arc of the song in general, the way you guys did it. You got a nice little refrain kind of at the end of the verse, and that spot kind of dips down a little bit in intensity before the chorus pops in. So I love, featuring Jesse there, kind of doing some wiggities, some zippity doodads.
That's what we call him in the biz.
Some
Wiggities.
wiggities. Some funkadiddles. Yeah.
Love those funkadiddles.
This is all, the terms you're supposed to use as a professional. But yeah, I think that'd be a cool vibe in general to have you coming in with some of those wiggities. And then, the chorus is so beautiful. It really hits hard. We had a chance to talk and talk about some of this earlier, but I like what Phil said, like those first couple chords in the chorus are so powerful, and they do feel like a build because they're literally, ascending up to our next chord, and like when that chord hits, it feels like we're in the groove. And so give it, laying heavy on the first two with those downbeats, then we got that nice kind of vibe coming down, and then playing the choruses sort of with the groove once that's established. Phil, you also were, I know you were improvising and playing more of your jazz style piano, which is awesome on that recording. And
Delicious.
You did that really, really nice chromatic move down. So I wanted to steal that and put that in intentionally, so that we all do it at the same time, and we're not all, choosing our own time to do it. So since the chorus goes 2 times through, that second time through, I think that's more or less when you were doing it anyway. But that had a really nice feel. What else? I guess coming out of the chorus, I thought for dynamic's sake, it'd be cool to drop out, have the guitar be very rhythmic, heavy, keep time. Everyone else is out except for Dan doing the vocals and Jesse on guitar rhythmically.
Where is that you're talking about? I just want to make sure.
Like second verse will drop out entirely to just guitar and vocals.
Oh yeah, just the very beginning of that verse.
Of that second verse, yeah. And then, I was toying with how long, but I think it sounds best coming right back in.
Shorter.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
so
Because I'm not that good.
It's like 2 bars. It's 2 bars, and then we're back.
yeah.
Cool.
We talked about some hits, right? Like
Yeah.
doing some fun hits in there, and
Yep.
and then basically we're kicking it until the chorus again, and then I just we'll do what we can with the amount of people we have here. But Dan had mentioned when I was asking him the different things that he'd like to see happen, he showed me some examples of songs where the chorus just gets really lush and big, and there's these, whether there's synth pads or other stuff going on, but it just gets huge. And so I know Jesse's a master of, he's got his, $1 million pedal board there. So there's these great sonic tones we can get, twinkles and delays and things happening.
True.
We have this
We love that
amazing
about you,
Hammond
Jesse.
organ here, so we're gonna throw.
We're gonna
fill
try
in
to
the
exploit
fire.
all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
That's my
gonna
favorite
throw
thing
some of
about
that
you,
in
Jesse.
there.
Explain.
We might come back, do some backup vocals.
Yeah. So this is going to go on next week for you people at home that are paying attention. Next Thursday at 7:30, we're going to take what we did here tonight and then we're going to build on it and maybe whatever, do a vocal take or some background vocals or whatever, some sauce, some fairy dust, and that'll be next week on Thursday at 7:30. But right now, we're right here in the moment.
Yeah. So I think if we just capture that, like we'll just roll out the chorus, play it like at least 4 times, and just let it run, and everybody just be slowly, dynamically building as we're going, and that'll give it that flavor of that slow ascent. And then, with the overdubs, we can keep adding in that build happening. Dan, you can keep singing the leads, or you can do some other stuff. I mean, as a vocalist, I always like my final lead vocal to be the last thing that happens, because I just get to hear how cool and big the song sounds.
You get to sit back in the couch, the big couch that's been provided.
Even though this is live and will forever be out there in the world, feel free to still ad-lib and have fun in those out sections and see if there's some stuff that you are liking that could be some other things to add in, and then we can add those in later.
Well, I don't wanna know when you're going or where you're going late, and I don't wanna think about the knowing you'll be somebody's day. And in the morning when we laid the omen for something to be great, I'll be thinking about it, baby, often, but you're too far away. Too far away. And in the autumn, where we're falling, I'm waiting for the change. And it's often that I'm wondering if you're better on your way. How can we leave it when it's all an option? It's nothing to betray. Our hearts are only breaking open, as some of them would say. You hold the shine of 1,000 oceans, light on the waves. You never leave me now, my darling, 'cause I'm forever changed. Forever changed. Where we're falling, I'm waiting for the change. And it's often that I'm wondering if you're better on your way. And it's costly, but it softly slips between my hands. And I'm grateful for the way you made me a fuller man. And in the autumn, where we're falling, I'm waiting for the change. And it's often that I'm wondering if you're better on your way. And it's costly, but it softly slips between my hands. And I'm grateful for the way you made me a fuller man. Don't you know that you made me a fuller man?